Hi everyone, so the following is going to be a video about cloth diapering and my cloth diaper routine. I wanted to do a cloth diaper video for my friend who is going to cloth diaper her next baby, but I figured I would make it also just a general video for other people to watch as well, because I know cloth diapering is getting more popular, and I know when I first started cloth diapering I was scouring the internet looking for videos, seeing what other people did, because I just had absolutely no clue where to start. So I figured I might help a couple people out by making this video. So I just wanted to say a few things before we got started. The main reason that my husband and I decided to cloth diaper our son was definitely cost. We decided we wanted to cloth diaper. We decided that when we were pregnant because we had looked into it and done the math, and a good starting stash is about 30 to 40 diapers, and if you buy them new that'll run you about $300. It would be even less if you bought them secondhand. And those 30 to 40 diapers can last you from the newborn stage all the way up until they're potty trained. And if you're using disposables from the newborn stage until they're potty trained, you're going to need about 8,000 diapers, which equates roughly, depending on what diaper brand you buy, about $2,500. So $300 versus $2,500 is kind of a no-brainer. And then the cloth diapers you can also use for subsequent children, so they pay for themselves so quickly. And I mean, you really can't go wrong there. And yes, there's also the added cost of like water and utilities to heat that water, but honestly I've been cloth diapering for 7 months and I haven't noticed a difference in my water bill. So the pricing for each diaper is about $6 to $10 a diaper. Unless you get like a 6-pack off of Amazon, that'll run you about $40. And that's for Alva Baby and Mama Koala brand diapers. Bum Genius are another brand that you're probably going to come across, and those are the more expensive of like the popular brands. Bum Genius diapers are about $20 a diaper, and I've tried all three. I think they're all very comparable, and I do not think Bum Genius is worth being twice the price. Just my personal opinion. But aside from cost, the other reason that you find is really important is that it's way better for the environment. Like I just said, you would go through 8,000 disposable diapers just for one child, and that just sits in a landfill. For each child that you cloth diaper, that saves 2,000 pounds of garbage from sitting in a landfill for years and years and years until it decomposes. So a little feel-good statistic for you. But cloth diapers themselves, I like them a lot better than disposables, like all cost aside. Cloth diapers, you can have a customizable absorbency, like for example at nighttime we use 2 inserts, during the daytime we use 1, because during the daytime we're changing him about every 2 to 3 hours, and then nighttime he sleeps for longer stretches, so he goes longer between diaper changes. And you can just add more inserts to really make it customizable for your baby. And with cloth diapers, there's less blowouts because those cloth inserts can hold more. So I can personally attest to that. But the other thing that I wanted to mention is the most important thing when it comes to cloth diapering is having a good wash routine, because that will make or break you. And there's a lot of things that depends on a wash routine. One person's wash routine won't be another person's good wash routine. It depends on your water hardness, because some people have soft water, some people have hard water. Hard water just means you have a lot more minerals in it. And with hard water, for example, you can have mineral buildup in your diapers, and that can cause things like rash and skin irritation. And then your water hardness, depending on what that is, that'll decide what kind of detergent you use, because some detergents work best with soft water and some detergents work best with hard water. Sometimes you need to put a water softener if you have hard water. So the main thing to do is to test your water hardness, and how you can do that, you can either buy testing strips off of Amazon, or the free option, you can put your water in a little Tupperware container and bring it to your closest pet supply store and they can test that water for you. Because if you were, for example, getting an aquarium and you needed to make sure that your water was suitable for the fish, you would bring it there to test. So they can do that testing there for free. That's what I did. So you need to know your water hardness, and it also depends on what kind of washer you have. And sometimes there's an agitator in the middle of your washer, sometimes there's not. That matters. So once you know your water hardness, you would take a picture of your washer and you would send it to an admin on the Facebook group Cloth Diapering Mamas, and then they would send you a suitable wash routine and make recommendations on what detergent you should buy. And that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly how I got my wash routine, and they make it very easy. So I would highly recommend doing that. It kind of takes the guessing work out of it. And then once you have your basic wash routine, you can obviously like finagle it to kind of more suit you. Like as you'll see later in the video, I have my wash routine, and then over time I've kind of added a rinse and spin in the beginning, a couple of rinse and spins at the end, changed my detergent around a couple times. So it's all just trial and error, really. There will always be a pre-wash and a main wash, no matter what wash routine you have. The pre-wash is usually cold water, and it is usually just like a normal cycle, just to get all of the soilage out of the diapers. And then the second wash, the main wash, really focuses on getting those diapers clean. You just want to make sure you have cloth diaper safe diaper creams as well. And if you're using liners, like I'll show later in the video, you can use whatever diaper cream you want, because the liner provides a barrier between the cream and the diaper, and you can use whatever diaper cream you want. But if you are not using liners, then you just want to make sure to avoid diaper creams with petroleum, like A&D ointment, because it kind of coats your diaper and then liquid can't seep through it. So it just kind of wicks the moisture away and causes leaks because it has nowhere to go. The other thing you want to avoid if you're not using liners is any diaper creams with zinc in them. And that'll be like your Desitin, because that'll just stain your diapers. So avoid petroleum and avoid zinc if you're not using liners. If you are using liners, you can use whatever you want. And I think that's about it. If you have a tall baby, like James is tall, I did find that going up the next size in pants was much easier, because the cloth diapers, they are a bit bulkier than disposables. So if you just account for that and get the next size up in pants, all will be well. So what I would recommend as must-haves would be 30 to 40 diapers to start for one baby if you're planning on doing laundry about every other day. I think that's a good number. You don't want to have so little diapers that you're kind of strapped to always be doing laundry on time, because we all know that life happens and sometimes you don't have time to go start the laundry, or you don't have time to stuff diapers. So it's good to have a little bit of extra diapers just as a cushion for yourself. I know I would not want to be, and I have been, I would not want to be in a situation where you are out of prepped diapers and all of your other diapers are either dirty or still wet in the wash and you have nothing else to do. So 30 to 40 I think is a good number for one baby if you're planning on doing laundry every other day. The other things I would recommend that are must-haves are 2 diaper pail liners. They look like this, have elastic at the top and a waterproof lining. I have been using 2 of these. They come in a pack of 2, so one is always in use and one is in the laundry or dried and ready for the next use. So it's a good alternating system. And the other thing I would recommend is for your wet bags, whether you are planning on cloth diapering when you're out in public or not, I would always recommend having a wet bag in your diaper bag for any blowouts, any clothes that get wet, and obviously the wet, dirty diapers. Some people choose to do disposables when they're out in public, And we started off doing that, and it's easy enough. But however, when you like make the plunge, be like, I'm gonna use cloth out in public and I'm just gonna do it, it's almost no different, because if there's not a trash, then you have to carry that disposable with you until you're home anyway. And it really doesn't make much of any difference, cloth versus disposable, because you're gonna put them in your wet bag and put them back in your diaper bag, and then you're gonna take them out when you get home. So I think it's just easier to just use cloth 100% of the time, unless you're going for like a weekend trip out of town. Then I would recommend using disposables like when you're out of the house. But if it's just like a short trip to the store, then I would stick with the disposable, or I would stick with the cloth. The other must-have, in my opinion, are diaper liners. They come in packs like these, depending on what you get. Some of them are packs of 4, some are packs of 3. But they just look like a little roll of paper towels almost, and the texture is like a dryer sheet. Some people decide not to use these, but I honestly think that these make cloth diapering so easy, because any poop, any solids, these will catch, and then you can just throw it away, and it takes away the rinsing step of cloth diapers. Sometimes poop will get on the cloth diaper. No matter if you use a liner, it just happens. It can go around it. They shimmy their bum around. But in that case, I just wash it out in the tub. Some people have a cloth diaper sprayer that hooks up to the toilet, which honestly we have, and we've never actually hooked it up, because the rare instance that he has like a blowout and some poop gets on the diaper, it's like a minimal amount, and you can just wash it in the tub. Rinse it in the tub, I mean. So I haven't found that that's necessary. If I weren't using these liners, then I probably would want to install the diaper sprayer. The last thing that I would recommend having, it's not a must-have, but I think it's a nice to have, is the garbage can that I'll show with the automatic opening and closing lid. It just keeps everything contained, any smells, it looks pretty. And the automatic opening closing lid is very nice, because you have a dirty diaper in your hands and dirty hands. It's nice not to have to open the lid or use your foot to open it. It just does it for you. So I would highly recommend that. I think that's everything that I forgot to mention in the following footage. Who's ever watching this, I wish you luck. You just have to kind of dive in. James, we used disposables with James for the first 3 months, and there wasn't really a real reason, because we had everything we needed to cloth diaper, but I was just nervous and scared and I didn't know where to start. So I would just recommend just doing it and then learn as you go, because you can only be so prepared. You're gonna know everything you're supposed to know, but you're not going to get in the rhythm of it until you actually do it. So I would recommend just jumping in, cannonball in, and then go from there. It's really easy once you figure out your wash routine, and sometimes you'll need to adjust your wash routine, and that is perfectly normal. You're not doing it wrong. So yeah, enjoy. So this is our setup for our diapers. We just have them in bins that I got from TJ Maxx. Just have them all stacked up. We have him on a bin with his clothes because he is still in our room for now, as you can see with his crib. Not something we planned on, but you know, it happens. I don't think Dada would like you chewing on that. No. And then we don't have a changing table in here because he would just roll off it anyway, so I just have a bin with wipes, liners, and diaper cream in here. And we're going to change a diaper, and then we're going to wash some diapers. So when you start looking into cloth diapers, there's a few different kinds and terms that you're going to come across. One of them is a pocket diaper, and that's these ones. These will be your Alba Baby, your Mama Koala. These are pocket diapers because there is a pocket that the insert goes in the back. The other ones that you'll hear are covers and pre-folds, which are these. This thing here is called a pre-fold, and what you do basically is this goes against your baby, and then there's a waterproof cover that goes on the outside. I've never personally done these, so I don't know how well they are, but that's what that refers to. And then all-in-one is another term, and that's where the diaper and inserts are just one piece, and they're all sewn together. And this part goes directly against your baby. I did use this for a little while in the beginning, but it takes forever to dry because this needs to be line dried, so I would not recommend it. Overall, our favorites have been the pockets of Mama Koala and Alva. So when you get a cloth diaper, it's going to look like this, and it's going to have a ton of snaps, and you're not going to know what to do with them, but it's pretty easy. So these 9 snaps down here are called the rise, and they make the diaper longer or shorter. So your baby, depending on when you start cloth diapering, would start out probably at the shortest rise. So you'd bring the top button down to the bottom button, and it would make the whole diaper shorter. James is in the middle rise right now, so he's in this row. You just snap these down, and that makes the diaper a little bit shorter than what it would be, so that it fits in better. And then these snaps up here, I don't know what their technical name is, but I think they're the hip snaps. And that's what you just snap around their hips. And that was an Oob Care diaper. Alva baby diapers are the exact same way. The other type of diaper is a Mama Koala diaper. And it has the same rise snaps here. Can't really undo it with one hand. Same 3 rise snaps. The only difference with a Mama Koala diaper is that these hip snaps, there's 2 of them straight across, whereas with the Alva baby diaper, the hip snaps, it has 1 snap down here and then 2 up top, not exactly in a straight line. And then this just has 2 snaps in a straight line. So I would recommend getting both of them because at different points in James's chubbiness, it has fit him different ways. And now that he's kind of like more so grown, we use these in the daytime and these at nighttime, and it works perfectly well. So we're gonna practice putting on the diaper on Mickey. So he's gonna be a little small, but it'll work fine. First, I'm gonna demonstrate with the Mama Koala diaper. And what I use are these diaper liners. They're kind of like dryer sheets, but they basically prevent you from having to rinse out all of the diapers, especially the poopy ones, because it catches the solids of the poop and like lets the liquids go into the diaper, so you don't have to rinse it before you put it in the wash, which has been an absolute lifesaver. So you'd put the diaper underneath just like a normal diaper. And then a couple of special things you want to remember with the cloth diapers is that when you bring it up, you kind of want to pinch the crotch in like that so that these elastics go right into the butt folds of the baby. It gives a better seal. And then you would just flatten this top portion here against the baby so that there is no creases or folds that rubs against their skin, and just pull up the side. I like to do the bottom one first. And then go ahead and do the top one. So there are 2 buttons here. It's even in the middle. It doesn't have to be, like if this is James. Excuse me. I need that. Excuse me. Anyway, it doesn't have to be even. It can be like that for example, it just has to fit your baby as best it can. The general rule is there can be a gap. Oh my gosh, James. So there can be a little bit of a gap here. That's fine. Usually it should only be like 2 finger breadths that you can fit in there. Otherwise it's too tight. Or if you can fit like your whole hand in there, you probably want to make it a little bit tighter. You also want this little fold in the rise to go up instead of down. You want to be able to put your fingers up it, just because it makes this, it makes the leg holes a little tighter and fit snugger. And the other things you want to look for is any gaps like this. So Mickey would obviously leak because there's this giant leg hole gap right here. So what we could do to troubleshoot is make this rise a little smaller so that it's a shorter diaper. So now that we've troubleshooted and we discovered we need to make it a smaller rise, we take it off, take out the rise that it's currently on just by unsnapping here. This is the full diaper. Now we bring the snaps down to the bottom rise. It was last time on the middle rise. We bring it down to the bottom rise. And now it's the shortest diaper. Shortest it can go. So I kind of just like to make it all flat. So with whatever's against the baby is flat. Put the liner back in. Probably, that's a pretty good fit on Mickey. Legs were still have a little bit of a gap, but you get the idea. So make sure that this rise is facing up. And if you see any white, like if this was poking out, that's a chance for things to leak, because anything that you see that is not this, it's called PUL, the waterproof coating. If you see white, you just want to tuck that in so that it's not coming out. And also what can happen is the liners, they can kind of like poke out the leg hole like here. You want to make sure that's tucked in as well, because that can cause leaks. So we're all tucked in. That's a Mama Koala diaper. And then the Alva, or the Oob Care diaper. Since we made the Mama Koala a smaller rise, I'm going to do the same here, just so it fits Mickey better. And then our liner. And same here, I like to do the hip snaps first, or bottom hip snaps, I mean. And then with these ones, it's a little more difficult because these aren't exactly like lined up like the Mama Koala are. They're at a little bit of an angle. So I just do whatever it naturally would fall upon. Like this button is pretty much right at this button, so I just line them up. And then that's that. Do our little check, make sure this is tucked in. Make sure there's no liner sticking out, no white parts. And Mickey is good to go. The other check you should do is right behind the butt, right at the waistline, because we've got a little bit of liner poking out here. That could also cause a leak. So just tuck that on in as well. So I'm just going to do a quick little fit check on James. Make sure the liner is tucked in all the way around. Doesn't have any leg gaps here. He probably won't let us do the front because he hates being on his back, but let's read it. Hey, what's your problem? Anyway, that's a good fit. So this is actually perfect because he just pooped, and as you can see with this liner, it has completely, you can just pick it up by the edges and there is no poop solids to rinse off. You just throw this in with the wash with the rest of your diapers and you are good to go, which is why I love these liners so much. I'm just going to reach in the back and pull out the insert. I like to pull out the inserts before I put them in the laundry hamper because then I don't have to do it when they're days old and at the laundry, because then they've been sitting for a while and it's just gross. But this is the garbage can I was talking about that I really think is nice and I would suggest it to other people. So I'm just going to take the lid off this and take our diapers to the laundry. And take the bag out. And then this is our big wet bag, laundry diaper pail, and we're going to take it down to the washer. So, we're at the washer. The wash routine, the most intimidating part, in my opinion, of cloth diapering. I have my wash routine posted right above the washer for easy reference, and as you can see, I have changed it a couple of times, detergent-wise. I will say that if your baby is exclusively breastfed, like the first 6 months, for example, then you don't have to worry about, I'm going to do a rinse and spin right in the beginning, because exclusively breastfed babies' poops are water soluble, meaning that it's a lot easier for the washer to get out that poop liquid from the diapers. Once they start solids, then they are not water soluble and it takes a little extra work. So in my experience, I have required another rinse and spin up here. So that is what I'm going to start with. And what I do is I just empty the pail of dirty diapers right in. And since I already took the inserts out of all the pockets as I went, I don't have to touch them now, which I definitely prefer. And then I just turn the bag inside out. I turn the bag inside out while holding it outside so I don't have to touch it, and just throw it on in. And no detergent or anything, I'm just going to do a rinse and spin. I'll leave it on cold water and high speed. Hi baby. I meant to say, if your diapers are brand new from the manufacturer and you're looking to prep them for their first use, you would put them on a heavy duty cycle with hot water, extra high spin, heavy soil, and an extra rinse just to make sure you got all the detergent out. So now the rinse and spin is done, and what you're always going to want to do before you start another setting is whenever your diapers are like this, you want to fluff them up any chance you get, because that helps to ensure that none of them are stuck to the drum and that they all get properly cleaned. So what we're going to do, this is the pre-wash. So it's a normal cycle, and I was recommended to have hot water, extra high spin, and extra high soil. And then I'm going to do, some people don't do detergent on their pre-wash and some people do. I have found through trial and error that it works better for me if I do. Excuse me, Mickey. Thank you. So, that is the pre-wash. In case you're wondering, my water hardness was like 30 to 40, so I have some pretty soft water. So I have Arm & Hammer powder that I put in the pre-wash, and then Persil Pro Clean that goes in my main wash, just in case anyone was curious. All right, pre-wash is done. So I'm gonna again fluff up all the diapers so that they can be evenly cleaned and nothing is stuck. So one thing I learned after starting cloth diapering is that your washer is most effective when it is half to 3/4 full, well, most washers. So this is only like barely a quarter full right now. So these diapers wouldn't get as clean if I were to just wash them by themselves. So I'm gonna add what's called filler laundry, which is basically just a bunch of towels, dish towels that I grabbed. Being that this is on a heavy duty cycle that I'm gonna run it on, I don't wanna add like my clothes or James's clothes that are meant to be washed like on a normal cycle or even delicate cycle, because they'll just wear out faster and it'll just be a little too much for them. So I just have towels, and I usually add like my scrubs if it's been a week that I'm working, just because they can withstand the heavier laundering. And I'm going to get some detergent. Sorry, I'm so out of breath. I just carried James downstairs. I'm so in shape. Add the detergent. And then heavy duty, hot water, extra high spin, and heaviest soil. And I'm also going to add an extra rinse here, just to try to get as much of the detergent out as possible afterward. So remember that I have the second bag. This one is dry and ready to be used. So we're just going to put this in here. Put the lid back on. And we're ready to go. Diaper time. A lot of people's very valid concern about cloth diapers is how hygienic they are. And if you have a good wash routine, then it is perfectly hygienic. But if your wash routine isn't great, then yeah, you might like start to have a stink in your diapers, and it's just, you don't feel very clean about them. And if that happens, that just means your wash routine needs some tweaking. You need to do some troubleshooting. It's kind of the same deal where if they had a blowout and they got poop all over their onesie and you throw it in the wash, you trust the wash to get that poop out and make it clean again for the next time. So it's kind of the same idea. Your wash is able to get these diapers clean. It's just you have to do it right. And if you're super concerned about it, usually washers have a like clean washer option. So like you could do a load of diapers, and then if you're super concerned, which everything goes out in the wash, but you can do a clean washer after your diaper load before you do your normal laundry. But like when I added the filler laundry to the main wash, if somebody out there is like, ooh, why would you do that? Those diapers aren't even clean yet. With the pre-wash, what it does is it gets out all of that soilage. So in essence, those diapers are just equivalent to any other dirty laundry. They went through a hot water cycle with detergent in the washer. So basically all of that soilage got out, and the main wash is just to get it really clean. Main wash is done. I think you know the drill by now. Fluffing everything up. And some people might stop here. I have found that it works best just to do an extra rinse and spin. So, rinse and spin is done. And they are ready to be switched over. So, the actual diapers, the pockets, these cannot go in the dryer because it will melt the inner waterproof lining, this shiny lining fabric here. Too much heat on that can melt it. So these we're going to hang dry over here. The actual inserts, doesn't matter what kind of insert they are, microfiber, bamboo, actual inserts can go in the dryer. So we're just going to dry those in the dryer. You helping? So this is what happens when the waterproof lining melts. Say if you were to put your diapers in a hot dryer, or this happened, for instance, my drying rack was too close to my pellet stove in my laundry room, so it kind of just melted. But yeah, but this is a very good reason as to why you don't want to put your diapers in the dryer. Alrighty, so this is what setup looks like. We have all of our diapers on the drying rack with the wet bag. You can't deny how cute these are. No, so cute. Another perk of cloth diapers. So, and with inserts, you can use dryer balls with them to cut down on drying time. So I'm just going to toss those in. And generally for me, I usually dry these overnight. If you live in a warmer climate, it might take even less time, but for me up in Vermont, this is usually an overnight process to completely dry. So the diapers are all dry, inserts are all dry, it's time to stuff. So I've got all of my different inserts and I've sorted them out. These ones are Alva Baby and they are bamboo rayon combination inserts. These ones are just plain microfiber. These ones are the Mama Koala inserts that are also microfiber, but these are the ones with the special tabs. So what these are is they are just adjustable in size according to whatever the rise on the diaper is. So if you're on the middle rise like James, you'll be on the middle snap. If you're on the smallest rise, you'd be on the smallest snap, and the insert would be shorter. So this I do like. So what I like to do is I like to take the fold and put it face down on my palm. That way this is going to be the side that's facing up towards the baby's bum. I keep that flat so that there's no creases or folds that's against the baby. So I put that down against my palm and lay it on my forearm. And then I just go and bring the diaper over with my other arm all the way to the end. And then I take my other hand and grip both the diaper and the insert and pull out. And what I like to do is kind of stretch out my hand on the way out so that it flattens out the insert and brings it all the way to the edges as I pull my hand out. And the other thing with a Mama Koala diaper, they have these little like end pockets, a little fold over piece of fabric just to cover that insert and make sure that there is no chance of leakage. So I just make sure that that's folded over, and then I like to just put them together a little bit and snap them. That way when I go to put them away, they're not like opening up and flopping all over the place. It's just kind of one unit put together. So next we'll do an Alva Baby diaper. We like to use Alva Baby diapers at nighttime, and we use 2 inserts in them. Mama Koala we use during the daytime, and we just use 1 insert in them. But this is a combination of microfiber insert and then a bamboo rayon insert just for maximum absorbency. So I'm just going to do the same thing, lay it flat against my forearm and bring the diaper in with my other arm and stuff. Grasp with my left hand and pull out. And then I just like to make sure that the inserts are nice and flat in there. And fold up. And I just snap a couple snaps to keep it together. And there's that. And these, I didn't say what these were. These are called doublers. So if you wanted like more absorbency, if you wanted more than one insert, but not quite two, because 2 inserts is relatively bulky, you could use what's called a doubler. And it's kind of just like 1.5 times the absorbency. So it makes it just more absorbent and less bulky. I use these for other diapers that we like to wear during the day, like this Mickey diaper, for example, or like the Spider-Man one or the Captain America one. These ones are not Mama Koala, but we like to wear them during the day because they're fun. And I usually save the ones that are just plain color for nighttime because they're kind of boring. So I'm just going to put a doubler with it. And then the same technique. Just like that. And I don't usually use a doubler with the Mama Koalas just because, especially with this part kind of folded down, it's almost like it has more than one insert. That might just be me being crazy, but I've rarely ever had a leak with Mama Koalas and their one insert, so I do like that. So I'm just going to get the rest of these stuffed. So if you're wondering about cloth diapering at daycare, it depends on the facility. My daycare does cloth diaper, with the exception that they're not allowed to like rinse out diapers, like poopy diapers, which also makes the liners perfect because they can just throw those away and they don't even have to worry about rinsing any poopy diapers. So this is our setup. It's just a little like Tupperware container that has a lid to keep any smells in. And then this is diapers coming back from a day at daycare. They just stick them in here for me. And this one has a little bit of poop. I'll have to rinse that in the tub. But at the end of the day, I just go through them, pull out the inserts, and add them to the diaper pail to get washed later. So for a diaper that a little bit of poop got around the liner and onto the diaper, I just rinse it out in the tub. I mean, it's going to go into the pipe anyway, and these poop particles are so teeny, nothing's gonna clog. And just scrub out the tub before the next time you use it if you know you've rinsed a poopy diaper in it. I don't think it's a big deal at all. Rinsing is done, and then I'll go straight in the diaper pail. Then for the next day at daycare, I just bring the diapers right in this container. For a 9-hour stretch, I usually bring 5 or 6 diapers, and there usually is 1 or 2 left over that they didn't have to use, but I'd rather bring more than they need, just in case of anything. And we go to daycare just like this.